thanks for coming into my channel. We're going to look at the eclipse energy. We had the eclipse a few days ago, so now we're on the other side. And celebration, we made it. All right, good. There is no joke. There's been a lot of hard work going into this coming few months, way ahead of the time. Ooh, wow, look at those fly right out. All right, so we have the Four of Wands, which has to do with nesting and building foundations, as well as it can be, you know, new ways that you feel at home in yourself too, in some ways, I believe. And the Three of Swords is telling us not to betray ourselves, our truth. Sometimes we need to take better care of ourselves so that other people take better care of us too. So these are the ones popping out. So let's see how they relate to, and then of course the sun. Even though it was a lunar eclipse, I know the sun and the solar eclipse still in April was intense for us. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what's coming up. Today is September 20th. We're reading the energies for the next 2 weeks, getting us to the end of September, basically. Okay, that's what we're going to start with. And we're coming in with the Emperor upside down. Emperor upside down is sometimes like a retirement card, like if you're just done, you don't want to do it anymore. It can also talk about your disillusionment with the patriarch, with the big institutions in life that we have to pay tribute to, willingly or not. So that's an interesting place to start. So political, so there could be a lot more going on politically, things like that. It's being crossed with the moon. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Feminine moon. And underneath us today for the Celtic cross is the Lover's card, also reversed. So I would say, well, let's get into what other cards are here before I start talking about that. We've got Seven of Pentacles. I call this the Giving Tree. This is coming into our reading today. We've got Nine of Pentacles, the Sitting Pretty card. And it does have to do with real estate and things like that. And we did have a Four of Wands, the nesting card, pop out earlier. So we could be talking about home and home life. Yeah, I was just going to say. And here's another Four of Pentacles. So we are building foundations. Usually when this card comes up, I figure something's going on at home. You know, people are trying to nest better, feel better at home, or just find their own sense of self. With the Four of Pentacles upside down, this is investments. You know, the Nine of Pentacles, I always think of these two cards as real estate, long-term investment, and your willingness to take care of yourself and your own self-worth, holding your own value so that people don't take advantage of you. And if we had the Betrayal card pop out earlier with that, then we could probably want to read these together and say, you know, do you feel betrayed in your home? You know, were you in some kind of a situation where whoever, maybe it's a roommate, maybe it's one of your family members, could be anybody, maybe there's, you know, some disillusionment afoot as far as, you know, tribulations and things like that. So there may be, because with this following it in the actual reading, you know, then, and it's also in a pivotal point, it's in the gateway to the future as far as I'm concerned. So this would be, so there may be money that needs to be put out for things you didn't expect related to your home. It could be that you're, you know, you're not quite there, but you're getting there. Yeah. And then our other cards following are the Six of Swords. Six of Swords. Usually with the Six of Swords, I kind of think of this in a couple of ways. This can mean that you're doing way more astral traveling than you give yourself credit for, and you're really going out and trying to figure out what's going on in your own future. And you could also be very antsy, ants in your pants, like you're kind of grounded, but you're not, like you're sort of grounded in a free fall. So it would be uncomfortable, could be antsy pants too, things like that. With the sixes, you know, sometimes it's family related, certainly along your own sense of connection to yourself. And so where are we then? We've got nearly all the way around the wheel with our little intros. Okay, so we've got 3 more cards we're pulling with an 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles are great because I think of these as like a destiny point when they start coming up in the reading, certainly in certain positions in the spread. And the 8s usually bring us to like a destiny date with ourselves. So there's inevitable things or gifts that you can do to monetize your life or monetize your gifts to improve your life, that could be coming up. So if you've been sort of waiting to start something creative, or you wanted to delve into something and it's just been a matter of time, this may be the time frame that this is all starting to happen. And you may also, if you're not actually an artist or working on creative things, you may be looking at things more creatively, in, you know, innovative and inventive ways to make new inroads or fast outcomes in certain things. And following is the Temperance card. So I like her. She kind of shows a little bit of the all the elemental energy that we have to deal with the different personalities and different, you know, water signs and air signs and fire signs and earth signs, and who gets along and who can get along with anybody. And a lot of times when you have this card, you are getting better at dealing with difficult people and difficult situations. So you may be really becoming a little more neutral to the chaos. You also, with this kind of influence, you are kind of grounding your crown chakra in a lot of ways. It's quite possible, but there may be people who are, you know, visiting you more from your family. In fact, we did have the 6 of Swords, so this could be astral traveling with members of your family or loved ones that have already passed. And this could be you becoming more aware of that connection. And let's not forget that we had the sun pop out, you know, earlier, which is hinting at the, you know, the solar codes and spiritual awakening and things like that, you know, like uptaking in your own spiritual connections and in your own ability to understand your own spiritual world, basically. So, and in that case, you may look at the world differently as a result, because when you start to see those worlds and you're you know, moderating through things, yeah, you just may be that much more sensitive, and you just may be making connections that you didn't expect to make. And then the crowning glory of the spread. So yeah, I'm gonna go back through the wheel because I have some other thoughts now that I've seen how these other other feelings now that these other cards have shown up. But we do have the Fool card. The beginning of the journey is the end of our spread today. So I think everything does lead. I mean, you go from the Temperance card to the God energy, to the God source energy, creator telling you to have faith and to keep going and to take that leap of faith and do the trust. I mean, trust, you know, and expect the help, because you will get the help. Expect the help and you will get the help. Ask for the help. Oh, so let's circle around again. I'll do a little, yeah, here. I'm just going to show you the cards on the spread so you get an idea. So here we are with the Emperor upside down. We've got the moon crossing. So I'm going to say yes, we're definitely at the eclipse energy. And there could be a lot of norms that are falling off. So political systems or corporate systems or whatever, large companies. This may be the change or the influence that the world needed to bring down the rest of the stuff that doesn't work, you know, for humanity. We need to get more into what works anyway. So underneath with the Lover's card, this is a lot of time to sort of
envelop the parts of yourself that haven't been as strong or as lovable or as whatever, that you need to come to terms with acceptance and surrender. With the giving tree over here with our seven, it is an opportunity to join forces with allies. So with the lovers, they may be people in the material world. With the seven of pentacles, it's probably going to be the spiritual world coming, good karma coming from the spiritual bank to pay you back. And heading up above with the nine of pentacles, I would think that, this is sort of the sitting pretty card. It is in the reverse position, but it makes me wonder if, this is all about these three cards here, sort of like money, 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 and then we get over here to this destiny point. So the materialisms are working better if you're working with the spiritualisms, and if you're keeping that balance, is kind of how I think this is going to go. And your home body is your body. So I do think that we are taking better care of ourselves. I think we have to. I think that there's some influence that's sort of demanding that we honor as well, and as this card would say, and don't betray ourselves or our truth or our journey. So I think I don't know, it looks pretty good overall. And then the destiny point with the Eight of Pentacles. So I think it's game on. Welcome to the spiritual world. The moon is crossing the material world. Sorry, here's your moonscape for the couple of weeks ahead.
Yeah. So I would say as these cards would relate to the body, sometimes I really think that this is the human body, that our vessel, our honored vessel that we live in. And if it's upside down, it could be that we've been pushing it and trying a lot to do things and certain things. So you may need more rest, or you may need to pull back a little bit and feel more rather than do more, or something along that line, as well as more about the moon. Sun and moon, and then the lovers. So I think too that with the lovers card, people are committing more to relationships. If you've been doing the kind of work that universe has been thrusting at us for months on end, for years now actually, cultivating our awarenesses and our inner strengths and helping us find new foundations in ourselves, then, you're probably loving yourself in a different way right now than you may have in the past, So this is probably an opportunity where I feel like new relationships are being forged and opened, or new ways of dealing with relationships that are already in effect. And let's go back to the Temperance. She would demand that there be good neutrality and fairness in relationships, right? Like, she would be always looking for the voice of reason. So if you're not coupled, if you're not partnered, it's still, I think the lover still represents our relationship with ourselves. So what else is there really except our relationship with ourselves and how the world perceives that for us, basically, or shadows it back to us or reflects it back to us. All right, so not too bad. I mean, I think if there's ever a choice, on what to do, I say just lean into the parts in these next couple of weeks. Just it's all foundations. You're building, you're fortifying your foundations basically. So somewhere along this last little bit, your foundations probably shifted during, certainly before the eclipse, probably leading up to it. Could have been sooner, who knows? But basically, I think it's already happened, and now you're benefiting from the energies that are being kind of heralded in with the eclipse. So with the eclipse energies too, it can be pretty intense. especially with the full moon aspect of it. It was a very emotional eclipse. So, and I know we were processing a lot of trauma right before it, one way or another, whether it was recent new trauma or old traumas triggered by new traumas, and them all mixed in together for a nice big traumatic couple of weeks. But regardless, we come out of it and we gain insights and we gain resilience, and hopefully we don't get too jaded by the circumstances, surrounding our change, and I think we just hang in and we get it done, basically, right? I think that's kind of what it is. Another 7 came up. I just wanted to see what other energies might be wanting us to work with them. The 7 of Cups to me is like the prayers that we wish upon, basically. I wish I may, I wish I might have a star in my night tonight, or something like that, whatever that is. So when the star energy comes around, I think it's universe saying, listen, we have the giving tree already, so the universe is waiting to give you what you need and what you want, and even more than you dreamed of, with all the forces being aligned. And this is just another little tidbit saying, hey, don't be afraid to ask, don't be afraid to dream big, make a vision board, do whatever you need to do. Don't let the pains of your past nullify or minimize your efforts, and basically at this time, because I think there's a lot of breakthrough, but we may not necessarily, I don't know that we're feeling the breakthroughs of this solar eclipse on the solar eclipse. I think it hit us a little bit before, like I did in my previous reading for the prelude, and I think that it's going to hit us like a couple weeks later, like into October, a little harder somehow. I don't know why, but anyway, don't fight the flow, and work with your human will marriage with your divine will. And I would also say that, like with the Lover's card upside down, if you didn't have a strong relationship with your invisible allies, and they've been trying to make contact and trying to reach you through the channels in your third eye or in your astral channels, then I don't know, I would just keep an ear out, and I would keep throwing the prayers up, or just keep asking, hey, give me a sign for this, and be patient for a couple of days and just see what happens, because the information comes back. It's gonna come back. Oh yeah, and then the star energy. And you know what? It's true. I wonder how many of us are going through so much change that as we're reweaving in new dreams, because our other dreams didn't work, or the things that we had as far as plans that we were making may not be going the way we thought, because of all the odd twists and turns of the universe that we're always prone to. Riding with the tide and going with the flow is going to help you during this whole period. But I do feel like a whole lot more galactic activity, honestly. Like when I'm tuning into the energetics of it, it feels like the kind of sky that has miracle energy in it, There's lots going on, and aren't we lucky? There'll be a lot of new beginnings through this whole thing. All right, and one more card. Let's just look at a tiny little peek for October, since I'm feeling October. All right, so October wants to talk about, more unburdening and more sensitivities. So, and it would make sense if you're going through more of a spiritual awakening, more of a connection to your guides and allies. It would make sense that your sensitivities may be increasing if you are in the healing arts or the caring arts. Then you're probably doing, you could just be understanding all the people you're helping better. You just may be getting it faster, like, you're not too bogged down by things. But if you're on the opposite end of it, you know, where you're overdoing or you're running the codependence strategies or pitfalls, then that could be a little more burdensome and it could weigh you down. So if that's the other thing, you don't want to start this new eclipse cycle with a lot of dead weight. So if you didn't, you know, sort of let go and release and surrender and say goodbye to the things that universe was hoping you would let go, then I guess that's what I'm feeling is October may be the month where you have to revisit the things that you weren't prepared to let go of, and that you may have to be ready by then. I guess is how I'm seeing it. And if that's true, what else do we need to know about October? Oh, okay. So sixes with a cup, 6 of cups. And so friendships and relationships too. So I think, you know, we had the Lover's card upside down. So there may be more self-work in these next 2 weeks. And then, you know, getting into October, and you could be more outward with all that, you know, love that was growing inside of you. It sounds like that is the way it's going to go. So I hope you have a really good couple of weeks, and you're connecting and listening, because I really do think the stakes are higher, and I think the rewards are coming faster and really beautifully for people who are willing to stay the course and work towards their, you know, truth and serenity, essentially. So have a great everything. Thanks so much for coming into my channel. I don't know what else to say except have a great day. Thanks.